Hey guys, JD here. I'm just working on my latest drawing. It is a late 80s Countach. I'm a big car nut, so I draw a lot of cars. This might be the last car drawing I do for a little while as I start rolling on these art lessons I've planned. And I'll tell you more about that later on. There are some changes to my YouTube channels. This channel here is basically just me talking about my depression issues and just nothing but depressing stuff. So I deleted all those. This page that you're watching right now is basically going to be just like a background to all my artwork and what I'm doing to move forward. I am going to give you some background stuff as to answer some questions a lot of people have, and where I'm coming from and where I'm headed toward. So basically, one of the biggest questions I get is, you're a very good artist. How come you're not pursuing it? I guess the biggest reason is money issues. I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week, $20 per hour, and I bring home $50 per week, about $53 per week. The reason for that is because I am divorced. I'm a father of 2 kids, and I've had a lot of lawyers and stuff, a lot of issues with that, trying to get child visitations, and court costs got very expensive for me. I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars. I won't give an exact amount, but it was a lot. It was a 5-digit number. So I switched jobs. I lost my job up north, and I got this job down here, making about the same amount of money, but cost of living was a lot more. The apartment I used to have, I was paying $500 a month for, and the place was 2-bedroom. Everything was, bedrooms were huge. Had an elevator. I had central air conditioning. I had a dishwasher, garbage disposal, full kitchen, 3 walls cabinets, walk-in closets, walk-in pantries, and the whole apartment building was laid out like a hotel. It was just beautiful. And for $500 a month, I mean, you couldn't beat it. Come down here, a place like that, I'm looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And no way I'm going to make that possible. I downgraded. I get this little tiny apartment. It's about half the size of what I'm used to. It doesn't have central AC or anything like that. Very basic. The kitchen consists of a kitchen sink and 12 inches of countertop from each side. And it's doable. I had to put a lot of my stuff in storage. I'm storing it at my brother's house, and I'm paying $750 a month for this place, and it's not too bad. I did take a pay cut from my last job I had down this way. I was working overnights, and working overnights was very hard. I had to sleep during the day. My depression level went up, and my supervisor he didn't like me. And very difficult to get along with him. I'm not a very confrontational guy myself, and I just kind of dealt with it, but after a while enough was enough. I had to go to HR a few times, and I'll give you one instance. I was a machinist, and I'm a type of guy, I like to get things done. I work through my breaks, cut my lunch short just to get things done. One day, I had to use the bathroom, so I put on feed hold, I stopped the spindle, and I walked toward the bathroom, and my boss was over there just talking to one of his buddies, and I know he's been watching me hard, and because he's always coming down hard on me. And I said, well, I'll make it quick. I went in the bathroom, did my number one, washed my hands, came back out. 2 minutes tops. I walked by the boss. He stops me. He waves me over. He says, have a seat. So I sat down. He's like, what did you just do? I said, well, I just went to the bathroom. He's like, it's not effing break time. He's dropping F-bombs left and right. He starts raising his voice at me. And I'm like, well, you know what? It's 40 minutes till break. I'm just not going to make it that long. I said, I had to go at that moment. So I stopped the machine momentarily, went to the bathroom. I was going to come back, start the machine back up. It would have been like 3 minutes. But now it's been closer to 8 minutes because I have to explain everything to you. And he didn't like that at all. So he was went up one side of me, down the other. And I'm like, look, I'm going to talk to HR about this in the morning. And I did. And he talked to him about it. And he is clearly in the wrong. But after that little talk with HR, it got very stressful because now he was out to get me for sure. I mean, every little tiny thing, he's watching me hard. When winter started arriving, it got cold and the heat wasn't on yet, so I put my coat on. That's cold. And I had to go to the tool crib to get some more tools for my job. So he saw me walk by with my coat on. He dropped to his door and he followed me, cleared the tool crib. He was watching me. I went to the tool crib, got my stuff, went right back to the machine. He thought I was like going outside. It's a rule, you're not supposed to leave the building. But, oh, it was stressful. Yeah, my depression went right up to the roof. But I get this new job. It's in a totally different building. I'm on second shift. I can sleep during night times now. You know, it's a lot easier going. The bosses are great. They actually go out of your way to come over and say, hi, how's your day going? And ask me how my daughters are doing. And it's a lot more friendly environment. And I'm a lot happier now. My depression's a lot better. So yeah, so that's one of the changes in my, that's my background. A lot of my changes in my channel is I'm going to stop talking about that kind of stuff. That counter, this camera I'm talking to right now, it shuts off automatically at 10 minutes and I cannot get it so it will not do that. It's wired in, so this means I got about a minute left on this video. I'm going to stop the camera and pick it back up, and I'll try to talk more about my background and then get back on to these drawings. Alright, I reset the camera. I reset the counter. The display's on the back of this camera. It's just a point and shoot camera. That's all this is. So this is kind of helps me not talk beyond the time when the camera shuts off. I do have an HD camera. I have it mounted up overhead right now because I am doing a time-lapse video of this drawing. Once it's all done, I'll have that uploaded, and I have 10 other time-lapse videos of all my drawings, and you can subscribe right here. Just click on this button and it'll take you to all those videos, and make sure you subscribe to that because there's going to be some more being added to it, plus all these art lessons. There's just going to be some free art lessons. So be sure to check that out. Back on to my background. I talked to you a little bit about my job and my money situation. My new position, I'm not a machinist anymore, I'm an inspector. So clean work. I don't have to worry about changing tools or getting covered with coolant or oil or chips or anything like that. It's nice clean work and great people I'm working with. and it's on second shift, so I like it a lot. So yeah, it's been tough because I've been walking to work. It's about a 2-mile walk to work one way, and I had a Jeep and it broke down and hadn't been able to get the money to get it back. And some nights with the wind chills, it's 10, 15 below zero, and I have this face mask on. I'm all bundled up, walking to work, and sometimes it's got a blizzard, and I'm walking back in the snowstorm and try not to get hit by cars. It's a lot of fun. Since I got moved over to this new shop, like I said, the people in this shop are very friendly. They've been giving me rides, pick me up every morning, and they realize that I don't really have a lot of money, and they asked me how my food situation is, and I said, well, I don't have much for food. I live on pretty much ramen noodles and chicken noodle soup, crackers, basics. And they set me right up. They filled my fridge and my freezer, so they're very cool like that. And with this new position, they finally started offering me some overtime, so I'm bringing home a little bit more than $53 per week now, making ends meet a little bit better. And I got a second job working at the airport, unloading luggage from the planes, bringing them in on the conveyor systems, and helping disabled passengers onto the planes. And eventually I'll be running the jetways and the pushbacks and all that fun stuff. Kind of a neat job. I don't mind it. I'm still in the process of being trained. I'm doing a lot of online training, which I get paid for, so I got a second income starting to come in now. And I talked to DHS already, and they're not going to pull more child support because of the second job. They said your payments are always on time and your back child support is getting paid off. Yeah, so this money that you're making from your second job, that's yours. And that was one of the big issues. They started pulling child support, and to make ends meet, I work overtime, and I do that for a few years, and then they say, well, you're working overtime, the mothers are entitled to that money, we're going to check up your child support. So, and my pay gets lower, so now I have to work twice as much overtime, and it's a vicious cycle. It keeps going up. They care about money. That's all they care about. And with the lawyers and stuff, I've had a lot of visitation issues and went through a lot of lawyers. I cashed out my 401k to pay for that all, and got to pay taxes on that, so I got garnished. The state of Maine is actually, right now, they're taking $95 a week out of me in not child support, but taxes and tax levy. And that's going to be paid off in April. So here in a few months, I'll be able to have another $95 a week in my pocket. So that's going to help a lot. And this extra money, I am going to not only survive on it, but I'm going to invest a little bit more into my artwork. I want to get a new camera. I want to get a new mic. Actually, I ordered a new mic already. The mic's coming pretty soon. The mic's going to be doing the voiceovers for the art lessons and get things kind of rolling on that aspect, and some new editing software. So yeah, I'll get started on these art lessons, and you should be able to expect to see these sometime in June. I'll start rolling them out. So on to these art lessons. As you can tell, I draw a lot of cars. I already mentioned that. This drawing I'm doing right now, that's the car I'm actually drawing. It's going to be red. And I got silhouette done. Next step is to do like the window glares and all the darker areas, and I'll start doing the color. And I'll show you a quick example of some of the stuff that I draw. I drew this back in 2001. Just kind of show you the progress I've been making so far. This is a Chevelle and a Corvette, a new Corvette at the time. And though it looks good, it's a low quality picture. I had I think a 3.1 megapixel camera. Took double A batteries and everything. And very poor picture. But it's kind of shows you my drawing. I used a pencil kit on this, and a lot of problems with the graphite pencils. You get into really dark stuff and it creates a lot of glare, and I'll explain that in the art lessons as well. This is a 68 Charger, and I started getting more creative with this. Like I drew the palm trees in the background and I kind of reflected them onto the car, and just some like little you know, some lighting effects and stuff like that where it looks like the sun is shining on it, and I thought that was kind of neat. In 2008 I did a 69 Mustang. I started using like an ebony pencil, making things a little darker. As you can see, it's not really smooth. You can see a lot of like pencil strokes, stuff like that. And at the time I thought this was good, but you know, I'm progressing. 2009 I do this Mustang. The flooring, this is actually, I took this picture in a parking lot and I kind of just fudged the flooring in and I reflected it onto the car. And I thought that was kind of neat little effect. And in 2012 I drew this Ferrari, the first one I done in color. I did this with color pencils, and I used a colorless pencil to blend it in. So it's really smooth and it looks very metallic like. So it kind of looks really nice. This is a scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you haven't noticed. A few changes. I took the plan out, and there's supposed to be an older car in the background here. I took that out. And just last year I did this 68 Corvette. It's actually my former boss's car. I did this for him as kind of a retirement gift. Came out very well. The General Lee. This one here is probably, at the time, was one of my best drawings yet. I put a lot of detail. A lot of small things really adds a lot. Like the black bush guard, you can see it's a little bit of orange on there because reflection from the car should appear on that black surface. So a lot of small details like that. The bumper, you can see some of the orange reflected onto the bumper, and from the sky you can see a little bit of blue from the chrome bumper as well. This DeLorean I drew, a lot of people think this was actually a photo of a DeLorean. I actually used to have one of these cars. I sold it years ago. I wish I wouldn't have sold it. I'll have another one someday, I hope. It's a fun car, really neat. But anyway, they thought that was an actual photo. And I was like, no, I drew that. I used mixed media. I used color pencils. I used graphite and charcoal. Now the charcoal makes the dark areas look really dark, and it reduces a lot of glare that you get from like graphite. Graphite gives you a lot of glare in the darks, and charcoal does not do that. So using mixed media, it really makes it look like, it really makes it photo-like. And a lot of things like the window glare, you can see a lot of white on the windows, and you can see the reflection of the doors reflecting down onto the glass. Just a lot of small details like that really adds a lot. And I started getting into portraits. This was the first portrait I've ever done. I did this back in 2009, and it came out okay. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I don't know, some was the eye. The eyes didn't quite look right, and the glare on his glasses, and as you can see, there's not a lot of contrast there as well. Now, when I get into the art lessons, I'll teach you in steps. I'll teach you how to get this far, and then I'll teach you how to build onto that. And eventually, you'll get onto something like this. You can see this came out a lot better. There's a lot more contrast. I use more than just graphite. Use charcoal. The blacks really look black, and it's just all together blended a lot better, and it looks more lifelike. I did this one 2 years ago, and my latest one I did just a few months ago of this little girl here, and this is probably the best portrait I've done so far. A solid black background and just a lot of soft shading, and it just takes practice. The more you do it, the better you'll get. I mean, you go from that, from a couple of years ago, that's the way it was a couple of years ago, you can see a big difference. So, it is a skill that can be learned. I could not do portraits before. I learned how to do it. So it's something you can teach, and these art lessons will teach you how to do all that. We'll be doing portraits right off the bat. I'll start out with something simple like a house, or just basic shape, geometric shapes, and learning how to shade and blend, and adding charcoal and carbon to your drawings, colored pencils, and blending, and it'll be a lot. But it'll be a whole series, and it'll show you step by step on how to do everything. These art lessons, I'm going to do these in series. Series 1 is going to be basically drawing a house from basic shapes, making it three-dimensional, doing some proportional drawing and some point of view drawings, and showing you how to add shading and texture and blending. And I'll be starting out with just the basic essentials. Like I'll start with a number 2 pencil, and I'll show you how to shade using that. Just basic plain white paper and stuff that you already have around your household probably. So it's going to be very affordable to begin with, and as we progress, probably going to have to buy some pencil kits and charcoal and stuff like that. But good thing about these lessons, you get started right away. You don't have to wait until you order all this expensive stuff. You can start out with what you already have, and if it's not for you, you're not out anything. So that's why my first few lessons are going to be for free. And again, this is all just like this is all background stuff here. My actual art lessons are going to be on this page here. Click on that button. Subscribe to that, and eventually you'll see some of these lessons starting to pop up. And I don't know how much I'm going to give away for free yet, but once all my free lessons are on YouTube, I'm going to have a secondary site where you can just add a monthly payment. You can do your art lessons picking up from where you left off. And very low budget. I won't be using this camera here. I'll be using my HD camera, which is mounted up overhead when I'm talking to you guys. That way it's a little more clear. You can probably hear me a lot better, and the picture quality will be a lot better. And the Yeti mic I have coming, I'm going to use that for the voiceovers. The audio quality will be very nice. And again, it's going to be all step by step. Each video is going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to 15 to 20 minutes long. It's going to be very short videos, but it's going to show you step by step on how to do everything. So it's going to be very simple. If you're interested in yourself, if you want to learn how to draw, if you already know how to draw, you just want to get a few pointers, this is good too. If you have young kids that are wanting to learn how to draw. If they already like to draw and they want to do some more, this would be a very good project for them as well. I used to teach art. I used to teach art to pre-K through 4th grade. I did that for 10 years. So I've come up with a system that works good for teaching young kids how to draw. So, and I haven't had any disappointments so far. So I think with this program I'm putting together online, I think it's roughly going to be about the same. I expect the same results. So that's about it for this video. Be on the lookout for this time-lapse video coming up soon. I should have this one done within a week, and I should have it uploaded within 2 weeks. So make sure you subscribe. Again, here's the button. Make sure you click on it and make sure you subscribe. You'll be able to see this time-lapse video. And check out all my other time-lapse videos. They're very entertaining. Some of my earlier stuff, like my Ferrari drawing, the Ferrari California, that I was just kind of learning then that time-lapse video is about 12 minutes long. So all my later stuff is anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes long. So yeah, be sure to check that out, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.